The worst thing that you can do is have a single source of income called a job. Because what happens if you lose your job? Then you lose your only source of income. And you know what? Gen Z, they've caught on. In fact, 94% of them, they've got side gigs, side hustles, they want to be entrepreneurs, they've figured out who they want to be when they've grown up, and they figured out that YouTube University is enough knowledge and information to get started just like it is today. Because what I want to do today is I want to talk about the kind of side businesses you want and even need to have in your life if you want to survive 2024, 2025. Because I'm predicting that your number one expense is about to blow up through the roof. I'm talking about your mortgage. Over the next couple of years, we're going to see home prices increase not by $100,000, but by over $200,000, which means that your mortgage is going to cost you $1,000 or $2,000 more than it does right now. In fact, real estate is not only going to be inaccessible, but the cost of food is going to keep going up. Inflation is going to keep wreaking havoc. And if you think that your job is going to keep up, it's not. You've got to take your own life in your own hands. And today, I'm going to share with you my favorite side business for producing six figures. Check it out. Moody's economist Mark Zandi says that one of three things have to happen for your world to become affordable again. Either mortgage rates have to fall to 5.5%, or the median home price has to drop 22%, or your income has to increase 28%. And I'm going to tell you something. I do foresee in 2024 that rates are going to drop, but I don't see your income going up by 28%, and I don't see the real estate market going down 22%. It's quite the opposite. I think it's going to go up more than 25%. Which means, bottom line, that life is expensive and you gotta have a plan. And my question for you today is, what are you gonna do about it? Did you know that nearly 2 in 5 US adults, 39%, currently have a side hustle, according to a new Bankrate survey? 1 in 3 US adults, 33% of those with a side hustle, say that they need the money for regular living expenses. And bottom line is, side hustles are not just about having a little discretionary income. Now it's about trying to figure out how to pay the bills. Welcome to the age of entrepreneurship. And as a budding entrepreneur, you have to ask yourself, am I going to get caught up in something stupid like multi-level marketing? Am I going to select a real business? Am I going to pick a hard business where I have to have payroll for 10, 20, or 100 employees? Or is there something in the world of solopreneurship where just me on my own can work way fewer hours than a normal job, but make way more money than a normal job? That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you're new to my channel, I talk a lot about business, but I talk a lot about real estate. And if you're a subscriber, you know that I'm always showing you the hacks for how to either invest in real estate passively or how to actively work it like a business. Today, I'm going to talk about a side business that is rooted in the game of real estate, and it's how you make a quick $20,000 here and a quick $40,000 there and do it over and over again so you don't have to have a pesky job. But first, let's just get real on what I mean by a side business and what people are out there doing. This is Becky Powell, who started making worksheets for her fellow teachers to buy and download, working largely from her couch. Within a couple of weeks, Powell started earning enough to cover small bills around the house. After 4 months, she made enough to pay off her and her husband's monthly student loan payments. And within a couple of years, this 10-hour-a-week side gig became a 6-figure hustle that Powell and her husband Jerome run together. Last year, Powell's Teachers Pay Teachers store brought in $125,000, or just over $10,400 a month. Now, here's what's really cool. How many people out there are making $125,000 a year? It's actually a very small percentage. But check out their situation. They're working collectively less than 10 hours a week. That's the benefit if you can figure out some simple hustle where you don't have to have big overhead and office, brick and mortar. You have to have a lot of employees. If you can figure out something simple that you can do, maybe you have 1 or 2 people in your life that you can hand most of the work off to and earn 6 figures, well, that's the good life, because now you don't just have money with a 40, 50, 60-hour-a-week job. You got the money, but you're working super part-time. So why do you think Becky actually did this side hustle in the first place? Do you think she did it for fun? No, it was for necessity. For example, in the state of Utah, the average starter salary for a teacher, $38,000 a year. The average comfortable living starts at $55,000 a year. There's no way she as a teacher was making enough money to live her desired lifestyle. So she was forced to play a game to figure out how to build some kind of side business. But here's the cool part. With Becky only working 10 hours, are you a little jealous? Well, you should, because entrepreneurs get the benefit that when they finally figure out how to do something, they can basically make most of their business passive. If she's a teacher full-time with 32 students in her class, it's not just hard work, but it's full-time. Your business in time can become not active income, but passive income, and now you're really living the dream, which is I have money and I have time. So let me share with you my favorite side business as it relates to real estate. Here's an example of what happened. This person that owns this house lost their job and they had to relocate. Their home is worth $400,000 and they currently owe $300,000. It took them 6 months to find a new job, and during that period of time, the bills backed up, but more importantly, they hadn't kept up with the repairs for a number of years. In other words, they didn't have the funds to fix up and sell their home. So even though they had equity, it was like it was trapped. It's like, I don't know how to get the money out of my house. I lost my job. I don't want to sell my house. I need a place to live. I got all my crap here. People get stuck in this situation all day long. So what happened? I made them a discounted offer on this house. Well, what I was doing was actually stroking them a check to cover all of the bills that they had gotten behind on, basically get caught up from their credit cards. And at the same time, I landed a house at a pretty significant discount. What did I do with the house? I just turned it over to an investor. They gave me $10,000 just to take the home off my hands. I never even bought the house. It didn't take any of my money. It didn't take any credit. I just found the deal. I found the investor and I solved someone's really big problem. They were grateful. The investor was grateful. And I was grateful for my $10,000. That's an example of a small deal, because on bigger deals, you can make on average $20,000, but it's not unheard of to make even over $100,000. So what I just described to you is called wholesaling, and it might be new for you. Check it out. Wholesaling real estate is a way to buy and sell real estate contracts. Basically, you're trading paper. It's like, I got this person over here to agree to sell the house at a discount. I'm not buying it. I'm not using money or credit. I now find an investor in my big network. I'll show you how to find them and basically say, who wants this discounted deal, but you got to pay me something. That, my friend, is the game of wholesaling. Wholesalers act as intermediaries between sellers and buyers who are usually investors. A wholesaler will usually contact owners of distressed properties and basically convince them to open up a wholesale contract with them so that you can help solve their problem. In other words, get them a lot of money in a very short period of time when no bank will do that and no other realistic solution is going to happen for them. Which means that this whole game of this side business is all about marketing. How do you actually find these really good deals? Well, wholesalers focus on finding properties that other buyers can't. Their big focus is definitely on marketing, networking, basically negotiating lower prices. And once they get a deal tied up, they go to a large investor network and just say, who wants the deal? And let me tell you, that's the easiest part, because believe it or not, there's always money out there for really good deals. Here's the crazy thing that I'm sharing with you. You could go to college for 5 years, spend a couple $100,000, and then land a $50,000 a year job. Meanwhile, I can teach you everything about this in a matter of hours, and you can right out of the gate year one make way more money than an average salary coming out of college. At the end of the day, there's always a smarter way, and entrepreneurship done the right way is. Everything's becoming more expensive. Jobs are demanding more of your time, and in the future, they're not going to want 40, 50, or 60 hours a week. You'd like to believe that they're going to cut back to the 4-day work week. It's going to go in the opposite direction. The time for you to prepare for your financial freedom and independence is not in 5 years, not next year after all these mistakes happen. It's right now when you want to get ahead. And if you click the link below, I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about wholesaling. I'll give you the contracts, the paperwork, the training, and we're going to go out there together, and I'm going to show you how to freaking crush it with this amazing side business. Listen, if you've been watching me for years and you've just been learning from me, but you haven't taken action, I'm challenging you right now. Click that dang link below and say, you know what? If Kris says in a matter of hours I can develop a skill to produce a 6-figure income, I don't know, maybe it's worth clicking on. Click the link, let's go. So you want to be a real estate investor. One of the first skills you're going to need to learn, is this really a good deal? I have no way of knowing. But if you want to know if something is a good deal, click right here, watch this video. Let me show you how to identify a really good deal.